close this out. We're gonna look at the honeycomb configurator for the alpha yoke and the bravo throttle quadrant. I do not have the alpha yoke, I just have the bravo throttle quadrant. So here is what it looks like once you open it up. This image here, you can just click, drag to rotate it. Okay, and what's happening with most simulators is the configurator is being used just for this section here. Everything else can be assigned from the simulator, but this section is what you're going to use the configurator for. Okay, so sorry about that. So what do you want? What you want to do? If you have the throttle quadrant, what you want to do is go right here. When you click on the button, you're gonna have these two selections. This is simply a toggle on, toggle off switch. If you're a simmer with hardware, you know about them. You go to toggle one, and here you would see events. Let me go to flaps. Okay, I guess I removed that one as well. Flaps up. Okay, so flaps up. You'll see an event. The problem that's happening is event is causing a conflict between the honeycomb configurator and what's actually in the simulator itself. So what you want to do is go to the toggle on and the toggle off switch, and I've already deleted it, but what you would do is click on the events, and then there's going to be a trash bin. You press delete. That deletes any assignments here from the configurator. So when you go in your sim, you can assign these buttons as you want. You can do it for everything else, but I would suggest leaving everything else, especially this right here. Leave those alone. But this, the on and off switches, the flaps up, flaps down, the trim wheel, the landing gear up and down, the different axes, you can delete them if you want, but leave it. I would suggest leaving it as is and just clearing the on off switches. Everything else should work fine. I'm gonna take a pause right now and then go into my Microsoft simulator and show you what that looks like. Okay, so I am back. My simulator has just started up. So what you want to do is options, go to controls. When you get into controls, you see Bravo throttle quadrant profile 3. Profile 3 is, you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like a 4-engine commercial. You know what? I'm not gonna mess it. I'm gonna put it back to 3. But yeah, this is what it's at now. Sorry, I gotta bounce back between here. This button here. So I'm gonna call it the toggle button 1. So in the configurator is toggle button 1, and I'm gonna search for that button in Microsoft, and that's set to beacon lights on, and that's if it's in the on position. I'm going to search again with it off, and that registers as beacon lights off. Now when you go into the configurator, you notice that toggle 1 has no events, toggle 1 off has no events, and that's because these are assigned directly in the simulator as opposed to in the configurator. Okay, so let me bounce back over to the simulator itself. Search by input. I'm gonna move I have a 738 setup, so I'm gonna move engine 1 axis, and it shows us throttle 1 axis here. In the configurator, throttle 1 axis is not the first, second, but the third. So I'm gonna go to the 1 to 3rd axis, and it's level 3 commercial, lever 3 commercial reverser, or general aviation go around, or level 3 commercial go around. When you set up the commercial airlines, there's a red button that you can press. You can assign it to toggle because of its positioning. That's just usually where you leave it. But this is set in the configurator, and it seems that it's the same assignment in the simulator itself. I would not touch it. It works. It's not broken. Leave it alone. The only thing that I would advise you do change in the configurator are the on and off switches. Now the autopilot switches, I would leave them alone in the configurator. In the simulator, again, I'm going to rotate my selector knob for my autopilot. That one shows up as VOR because of the position. This one is blank, so if I want to use it, I would have to assign this. Hold on, sorry, something's going wrong. I would have to assign it according to that. But one click, autopilot, VS hold, and I have that set to vertical. It is automatically set to vertical speed. Next one, altitude hold. So sorry, try this again. Close. Search by input. Okay, so altitude bug is set, and this is what it's reading in the actual configurator. So because those are set, the variables or LVARs and everything else are set, I would leave. Let me switch over. I would leave this section alone. This on and off switches, they're fair game. So there you have it. I hope it helps you to sort out your issues that you're having, and makes setting up this throttle, quadrant, and yoke a bit more simpler for you. So